This might be one of the most terrifying videos on the internet. A stranger woman hid in the homeowner's attic and lived there. The homeowner didn't notice until he checked the food in his house. She had been there all along, so he installed a camera and captured this scene. In 2009, a man named Joe Cummings lived in an apartment in New York City. His life was ordinary, working, commuting, resting, but for a period, his work became extremely busy. He was rarely in his apartment, except when returning home at night. Gradually, however, he began noticing strange occurrences. Food in his refrigerator seemed to disappear. Milk and other items clearly left unfinished would vanish after being stored in the fridge. At first, he thought he was misremembering, but as this happened more frequently, he started paying closer attention to the food status. Sure enough, every day after he returned home, the food in the fridge would be reduced. At this point, he didn't think much of it, assuming his girlfriend had eaten it, since she sometimes came over to his place. Later, one day, he found an opportunity to ask his girlfriend about it. Her answer made his scalp tingle. She claimed she had never eaten any food from his home. This struck him as very strange, but he had no other explanation for the disappearance of the food. To uncover the truth behind the vanishing food, he decided to install a camera at home to record what happened. After setting up the camera, he went to bed. Late into the night, the camera captured something truly terrifying. While he slept, a figure suddenly emerged from the attic. Climbing down with extreme caution, it began rummaging through the room for food, water, and so on. He ate and drank as if it were his own home. Each time, he was meticulous, cleaning up any traces he left behind. When dawn approached, he would crawl back into the attic, as if nothing had ever happened. Day after day, he lived in the same space as the homeowner. The next day, he removed the memory card from the camera, inserted it into his computer, and opened the surveillance footage, intending to see what had happened while he slept. After watching for a while, his expression turned grave. Recorded by the camera, his house had been hiding someone he knew nothing about. He stared at the screen, feeling a chill run down his spine. This meant that, during the time his food had been disappearing, every night after he fell asleep, a long-haired woman, climbing down from the attic, and living in his house. After watching the footage, he bolted from the room without a word and called the police. When the police arrived, the woman was taken away. He went upstairs to inspect the attic again, discovering it was a dead end, with no direct access to the outside. Joe was curious how she had gotten into his room. The only way would be through the window, but he lived on the top floor, making it nearly impossible. Later, after questioning, the police informed Joe that the woman had broken into his home to steal while he was away. Somehow, perhaps finding the attic particularly secluded, she had simply climbed up and taken up residence there. This wasn't the first time the police had encountered such a case. Joe Cummings, after removing this ghostly squatter, he thoroughly inspected every corner of his home and installed a much sturdier door lock to ensure his food supplies wouldn't mysteriously dwindle and vanish again. Imagine this happening to you, a squatter living in your home, sharing your meals. That might be far more terrifying than encountering a ghost. Finally, remember to check. Has the food in your fridge been disappearing without explanation?